Hello, in this video I shall be giving the analysis of a topic nationalism versus cooperative federalism. Modern India is built on the concept of unity in diversity. We have various diversities like regional, linguistic, religious, ethnic diversities and all. One important diversity is regional diversity. So that is the reason we have to identify every region importantly, and that is the cause of cooperative federalism working in India. That is to have good relation between the center and each state individually. And we also have got this unity and diversity concept in our constitution, which is regarded as supreme in our country. And a country with this particular concept of unity and diversity and cooperative federalism is a non-centralized country. It won't have everything centralized in it. And it is a non-coercive federalism working country in which there won't be any coercive decisions that are imposed on the states. So there won't be these coercive decisions, but there will be cooperative decisions between the state and the center. And this concept of autonomy to states is also in constitution, and the states must have economic autonomy, political autonomy, cultural autonomy and educational autonomy. So only then we can say there is cooperative federalism or unity in diversity, regional identity in our country. So this is some basic view about the concepts of modern India that are to be there in India. We are discussing all of this because it is the vision of the central government to put up a committee called Constitution Drafting Committee, especially for this particular concept of center-state relations. So the center-state relations are there presently in the constitution, and this committee is going to draft these relations in lines with the central government. So this is going to be a huge threat to the interests of states. So that is the reason we are discussing nationalism versus cooperative federalism. Why a state has to depend on the center? There will be central policies working in every state, and the center has to give tax devolutions to states. For example, a center has to give tax devolution to one state and to the other state and to the other state. So this tax devolution is based on certain parameters, depending on various parameters, and everything will be decided by the Finance Commission. And the central government has got this authority to penalize these tax devolutions. For example, the state of Karnataka, it used to get certain amount of tax devolution from the center, but after it has taken up the family planning project by which its population came down, so the tax devolution to Karnataka also came down. So this is the authority of central government to penalize on various parameters these taxes to states. And the central government will also give special grants to states, and it can also deny giving these special grants. And we also depend on center for GST compensation, goods and services tax compensation, because the states have lost their indirect tax revenue because of GST. They are promised to be given this compensation from the center. So these are a set of things for which a state depends on center, and these things have to be done in a cooperative manner between the state and center. But there are certain issues like contribution versus returns. For example, the 6 south states, they contribute more to the central taxes, but they get very less in return. For example, one state from north and one state from south, I take here. Uttar Pradesh, for every rupee it contributes to the central taxes, it gets 1.79 rupee in return. Whereas a south state like Karnataka, when it contributes to 1 rupee to the central taxes, it only gets 0.47 rupee back. So this is some injustice done to the south states when compared to north states. So because of this, there is no cooperative federalism in this aspect of tax devolution by the examples I have given here. The next thing is GST compensation. There is an act of GST compensation to states Act 2017, but there are no compensations as given to states from this center. So because of this, the states are under huge lack of finances. So this is causing a huge burden onto states' shoulders. For example, the states have got an act under which they have to take up the fiscal responsibility of their own self. That is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. So by this the states have to prepare their own budget, and they are responsible for their own fiscal dealings. But because of this lack of finances from the center, proper finances, the states are having huge burden. So this is also some concept against cooperative federalism, in which the states and center are not happy with each other. The next thing is, how is this going to impact the states? Because of low finances or funds to the states, or because of this injustice as we have seen here, contribution versus returns, the states are going to lose their identity. and those states which are given less from the center or denied special grants, their social structure will be collapsed. For example, any public policy has to be done with finance, but when there is no finance, the public policies in that state will be low compared to their neighboring state, so the social structure will also be unstable in that state. And the political economy will also be unstable. The state or the government in that particular state has to go into debt trap because of no finances. So these are some impacts on states. Because of this, all of this injustice or because of growing centralization or dependence over central government, the states could resort to some independent identity. They want to be separate. For example, the state of Karnataka, having seen some injustice from the center, it wants to have its own Karnataka state flag and wants to have Kannada language primacy. The next example is Tamil Nadu. There is a huge turmoil in Tamil Nadu against Hindi language when it is imposed there. And the next example is Punjab and Assam. They want to have autonomy because of the injustice given to them from the center. That is what they feel. So these are some secessionist or divisive tendencies that the states would resort to if they are given injustice from the center. So this is all against the spirit of cooperative federalism. The next issue is language. Recently, there is this exam of IBP, Institute of Bank Personnel Exam. This exam is only held in Hindi and English languages. No regional language option is given to students. So the non-Hindi candidates, they are deprived even to attempt the exam. So this increasing prominence of Hindi and not giving the option of regional languages is a strong deterrent to cooperative federalism. So this is how we are getting injustice to the south states who are where there are more non-Hindi candidates. The next thing is growing centralization in education. National Education Policy 2020, it has got lots of provisions which are oriented towards centralization, which is a threat to the regional or state students. Article 246 has got the 7th schedule, which has got concurrently state list and union list. Education is a concept under concurrent list in which the state and center together they can make laws in that. But the center has made this law or made this education centralized without consulting the states, especially the southern states. So this is against Article 246, which is unconstitutional, we can say. And there is also three language formula in national education policy which mandates Hindi as the third language, and the states like Karnataka, they are not happy with this third language mandation. So the next final word what we can say is India is a union of states right from the beginning. The integration of this union of states is brought from great leaders like Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and even the Constituent Assembly decided on this, so it is written in Constitution. So when we are having this union of states, we must have cooperative federalism undoubtedly. But because of this growing centralization or the concept of nationalism, we are losing this concept of cooperative federalism. This will bring a huge threat to India as these states like Punjab, Assam, as I have told here, they'll get these ideas of getting divided from the country. Divisive or secessionist tendency will increase regarding certain states which are given injustice from the center. The final say is it is unconstitutional to put nationalism above cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism is a concept taken directly from the constitution, but whereas nationalism is a concept, is a random concept which is taken out from a movement, Indian independence movement against the British. It is not anywhere written in the constitution. So the importance has to be given to constitution. Now we are free from the Britishers. We don't need to put up this concept of nationalism much prior to cooperative federalism. Now the need of the hour is cooperative federalism or a good friendship between center and all the states. For this reason, we need to reduce the centralization, reduce the nationalism concept, and give prominence to cooperative federalism. This is the topic about cooperative federalism, and thank you.